we've still won more trophies.
What have these trophies done for
these
you,
players,
what have these trophies done?
Bro,
2 rival fans.
I can smell the hope because that's all you live off.
But at least we've got hope.
5 rounds of fierce debate.
We have players who've won more trophies than your manager.
You put him in Arsenal, he's an average fish in an average pond.
Bragging rights up for grabs.
The Arteta reign is about bottling it.
If you measured our dopamine levels, mine would be much higher.
Each player must use their time wisely before whacking their big red button to pile the pressure on their opponent.
Essence of football is about trophies.
39.5 win percentages. It's an absolute disgrace.
Best of 5, winner takes all. This is SunSport Stoppage Time. We've got Humz representing Manchester United. We have got Matt Pincus representing Arsenal. This is a rivalry as old as time. It's round 1. It's Matt to speak first. This is your 32nd round, and the topic is Roman Abramovic will go down as Manchester United's worst ever manager. 3, 2, 1, go.
41 games played, 15 wins.
Well, look, you just sound like the pundits if you think he's going to be the worst ever manager and you're going to judge off the time he's had so far. Because he came in January, he was only able to sign 1 player. So how can you say that based on that, he's going to be the worst ever manager?
I haven't seen a single sign of progression. He himself said this is the worst Man United team he's ever seen in the history. He's self-proclaiming himself involved in that worst team.
No, he's self-proclaiming the team that he's inherited. Just like I said, he's only been able to make 1 change to that. Also, if you look at his record at Sporting Lisbon, when he came in his first season, he changed around 20 players. The year after that, Sporting Lisbon went on to win the league.
39.5 win percentages. It's genuinely Ronald Koeman numbers. It's an absolute disgrace.
He still haven't responded to the point of mine where he's only brought in 1 of his players.
Time.
He's going to be spending an absolute fortune, and you'll see next season it ain't going to be good enough. He's lost the dressing room already. He's got players pointing middle fingers up in Hong Kong. No one wants to play under him.
Time. Matt, how do you think you got on?
Stumbled a little bit, but I think I made it very clear that Roman Abramovic is just not a good enough gaffer.
Go on.
I think you made the same point the whole time, and I think I was able to rebut that and come with some clear, concise facts and numbers, and you weren't able to do that.
What I will say is that I think Manchester United have had some absolutely honking managers in the past, and it's quite a difficult topic to argue, if I'm honest. You made a very good point, and it has been absolutely minging from Amorim. I like the stat that you came out the traps with early doors, but to be fair, I think Humz, you argued it back quite nicely based on observable stuff before that he needs to make big changes to that squad. He was hampered by his ability to do that. It's hard to say at this stage whether or not he'll be the worst manager in Manchester United history. It was a tough one to argue, but you defended it well. So after round 1 of Stoppage Time, it's 1-0 to Man United.
Let's go, fam. Let's go.
He's on form.
This is your 1 minute round, boys, and it's 1-0 to Manchester United already. It is Humz to speak first, and the topic is, since Mikel Arteta arrived at Arsenal, Manchester United have been more successful than the Gunners. 3, 2, 1, go.
For me, it's very simple. You mentioned success. Success in football is about trophies, and since Mikel Arteta arrived, Manchester United have won more trophies than Arsenal.
True or false, success in life is based on happiness.
We're talking about football. We're talking about football, not life. For me, if we break it down, right, the purpose of a match, right, you're trying to score a goal. Why? To win the match. Why are you trying to win the match? Because when you pile up these wins, you go on to win a competition. What happens when you win a competition? You win a trophy. So that means the essence of football is about trophies.
I think that when I say, look, football is life, and I'm going to go off of life advice, success is happiness. If you measured our dopamine levels, since the average dopamine levels since Arteta arrived through the door, mine would be much higher. You've had some highs, you've papered over the cracks with an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup, but you've covered some massive cracks, okay? And then you've plummeted. Your dopamine level was plummeted big time. Sickening.
Do you actually know how dopamine works? It's about anticipation. So your dopamine levels are going high over a course of a season for you to bottle the season right at the death so you don't actually get the maximum dopamine payoff at the end, which means you suffer immense amounts of cortisol, which is the stress hormone, in response. So actually think about the damage. Don't talk to me about happiness when you've just been led on, and then broken up with.
every single week, I look forward to seeing Arsenal play. The last thing these Man United fans want is to watch Man United play. Does that not say enough about the current state of your football club?
Since Arteta came, we won more footballs about trophies and dopamine. I watched my team beat City in the final of the FA Cup last year. That's dopamine.
Look, good. I like the anticipation point that you made, but I like anticipating. I like having the hope. And what have those successful FA Cup and Carabao Cups, what have they done for you now? You don't know your next move. There's no future. There's no structure. There's no vision for the future. And that's not success to me.
Time.
Oi, the dopamine point.
Is there anything more peak stoppage time than two people talking about football using words like dopamine and cortisol?
Can you believe that?
within the
Science
same
joke. Oh my God.
Dopamine's about anticipation.
Humz, talk to me. How do you think he got on?
Oh yeah, I think when you're talking about happiness, that's where I knew I'd won it, because like, how can Arsenal fans truly say they've been happy in this time? Why watch? We all watch Arsenal fan TV. It's there for all. The evidence is there for us to see. That's not happiness, bro.
Matt?
I don't know what he's talking about.
It's
I feel
not.
physically
That's
fit.
heartbreak, because you genuinely believe the Arsenal hope. I can always tell when people are Arsenal fans in the streets, because I'm like, I can smell the hope, and that's what it is, because that's all you live off.
But at least we've got hope. At least we've got it.
No, we've got a new project. You've got the same stale project.
got a
The
new
Arteta project is stale, bro.
Anyway, lads, absolutely outstanding stuff. Peak stoppage time, if I
that
do
was
say
good,
so myself. One thing, I think right in there in that debate, we got to the very core of what football is about, right? Football is about trophies. An excellent statement as a West Ham fan. I've been arguing that when I've been sticking up for David Moyes for years now. But your point, very good. You look forward to watching your team each and every week, which, as you said, is something I don't think Manchester United fans can do. Now, I happen to totally agree with Humz that football is about trophies. That's what we're here for. I think Tottenham had a better season than Arsenal last season off of the back of that. However, I'm here to judge the quality of the debate. Happiness and dopamine, great shouts even. The use of the word cortisol, that got you a point as well. It was really nip and tuck, but it goes to Arsenal.
Thank you.
Nah, that's ridiculous, bro.
It's 1-1 on stoppage time. This is your 15-second round, all to play for. Concise, sharp debating points required. Use of the button here will do you a favour. It's Matt to speak first. The topic is Man United will win the Champions League before Arsenal. 3, 2, 1, go.
Not too sure if you're aware, but in order to win the Champions League, you actually have to be in the competition.
We actually have won the competition before.
Well done. We're looking at the future, not the past. Law of averages.
In Arteta's reign, we've seen enough to show that Arsenal are bottle jobs and have no evidence to show that they could win a Champions League.
And what about Ruben Amorim losing to a team that haven't won a trophy in 17 years?
We actually have a brand new project, so you can't judge, because he has a whole reign to come.
Project, what's the name of the project?
Time.
What's the name of the project?
What do you mean you got? I don't get this new project thing. What is that?
Bro, because Arteta showed his 5 years of like what the Arteta reign is about, bottling it and not being able to deliver in high pressure moments. That's Arteta's DNA now. It's Arsenal's DNA too. Amorim's just started, so you can't say that he's not going to win it, because his legacy is turning around. Sporting Lisbon, they hadn't won the league in 20 years.
Humz, if only you'd said all of this within the
I said enough.
time.
I said
Within the
enough.
time,
15
Matt.
seconds. I mean, I think you're looking too much at what Amorim did at Sporting. This is a completely different sport, the Liga NOS and Premier League.
Knowledge, yeah, knowing the name of the Portuguese
sport.
league. Fair play.
I get you turned it around for Sporting, but do you know how far behind Man United are? Before you need to get in the Champions League before you think about winning it. Get in. You finished 15th last season. I can't see you climbing.
Mate,
11,
I bet you
10, 11.
£1,000 like we would win.
I'm not a betting man.
On camera. Neither am I.
What we'll do is I'll get
do it.
a Man United tattoo, or you get an Arsenal one.
That is
Yeah,
a superb
let's do
bit.
it.
Right,
Yeah.
we'll record that one. Remember this. If Arsenal win,
T's and C's.
are we saying where's the tattoo? Where's the tattoo?
That's what I was just going to say. I think on the heart.
On the face, sorry, right.
On the heart.
On the heart.
Oh, you sure you want to do that?
Do it.
Oh my God, Red Devil on your chest, man. Let's go.
Yeah, one of these on.
Right, I do actually have to score the debate. Whilst I'm absolutely desperate for one of you to have to get an Arsenal or Man United tattoo on your chest, that would be superb. The 15-second round is always a bit of a zinger, to be quite honest. Another one of those topics, very, very difficult to argue. I think that one came from you, Humz, quite frankly. And if I'm quite honest, that one was won for me pretty much within the first couple of seconds. You have to be in the competition to win it. I appreciate that you think that could happen beyond this season. I don't quite have faith in Amorim's project. So that round, an easier one for Matt to argue.
I might have shot
but it
myself
goes
in
to
the
Arsenal as 2-1.
The delusion might have shot myself in the foot because I now realise that, oh right, not everyone's as deluded as me. Do you know what I mean? You're not United fans, so like I genuinely believe that though.
Yeah,
that's why I put the question.
Yeah, fair play.
I feel
genuinely
bad
believe
that you
that.
have to pretend that you.
No, but I believe it so strongly that like I've made that bet.
I love
because
it.
Like I know it in my bones that Arsenal will never achieve anything great.
From the 15-second round to the 2-minuter, from the least time you've got to speak on stoppage time to the most, it is all to play for. It's 2-1 to Matt Pincus and Arsenal. Like I say, this is your 2-minute round, and the topic is Arsenal would have more players than Manchester United in a combined Premier League era 11 between the two teams. 3, 2, 1. Go.
All right, I'm going to go for the team and you're going to then tell me who doesn't get into it. So, Schmeichel or Edwin van der Sar, Gary Neville, Vidic, Ferdinand, Irwin, Scholes, Keane, Rooney, Ronaldo, Giggs, Beckham.
Okay, well, you're showing your bias early on. To not include any Arsenal players is actually an insult, and I hope he's taking notes of that. You have to, non-negotiable, Thierry Henry's in there. Patrick Vieira's in there. And Ashley Cole's in there. Irwin. Do you mean Irwin? Irwin, great player from what people say. Ashley Cole's the best left back of all time. And I think you've probably got to go with Gabriel.
So let's say if I give you Henry, because I did leave a few spaces. I don't think I named the full 11 because I knew that there must be one or two. So even if I concede and say, oh yeah, Henry, Vieira, it's just them two. And then even if I want to be nice and say, you know what, maybe I don't remember Irwin playing, right? I just know from the opinions of fans who were there, pundits, etc., trusted voices, that Irwin is obviously clear of Cole. Even if I concede that, we still have 9 and you have 3. So
I think you're also forgetting Dennis Bergkamp here. I don't think this is as dominant as you might perceive. Look, it's tough. This is really tough.
it is.
At the end of the day, the Arsenal-Man United rivalry lasted 7 seasons. Man United won 4 Premier Leagues, Arsenal won 3, and during that time it was very, very close. You want to roll back the years a little bit, but you got the goalkeeper, you got the right back. CBs, I think you give us Tony Adams. I think he gets in there. Left back's Ashley Cole. Midfield 3, you're going to go Scholes, you're going to go Vieira, and you're going to go Bergkamp. Up front, you're going Omri. Right wing, you're going probably Georgie Best. Is this Premier League, Gaffer? Then you don't go Georgie Best. You probably go Ronaldo, and left wing, you go Pires over Giggs.
I don't know how you said Bergkamp over Scholes, did you? I think that's crazy. And also the players that you're listing, it's like they haven't won anywhere near as many Premier Leagues. So that's what you had your Invincibles, but we're just actually talking about numbers of trophies and Premier Leagues won. Then there's not really many who can lace the boots of the players that I've mentioned.
It's a very tough argument for me. It's probably the hardest question I've had to answer, if I'm honest with you. I don't really know where to go from here. I think it's actually a lot more even. Let me try and think of a last-minute equaliser here. Do you chuck in a Declan Rice?
You know what, man? Like, as a mate, I respect that you conceding and I respect the honesty. So, you know what? I appreciate that because it's a tough one to argue. And it's like, there's not really many more points I need to make because you've just thrown in Declan Rice. And and I think the 2 goals against Real Madrid, the 2 free kicks, that's just not going to be enough, unfortunately. So I know with that answer that you now don't have any points left and have conceded, because Declan Rice, that's almost a memeable moment what you've just given me there. So 1 million views on TikTok, well done.
Why did this have to be the 2 minutes? Can this just be over? Do you go with David Raya in goal?
Okay, now you know what? I don't even need the rest of my time. I think I'm happy to leave it there, because obviously David Raya versus Van der Sar or Schmeichel is not a real debate.
Time.
Look, fair enough. I think it's pretty obvious who's won this round. I've defeated the purpose of the show. I'm sorry, lads. I've messed up.
Time. Gentlemen, well, that was one of the biggest concessions that we've ever had on Stoppage Time. I think you've done yourself a disservice there. I think it's far easier to argue for a decent chunk of Arsenal players. The Invincibles, you didn't lose a game all season. Apparently, your fans mention it every now and then. Manchester United, one thing I would say is there are 11 players in the football team, not 12. So your first list of...
Did I mention 12 in that?
And then further on in the show, doubled down by saying, right, you've got 3, we've got 9. Once again, adds up to 12. So that's twice.
Right, we're not in a maths competition, so it's fine.
However, that would have done you an absolutely massive favour had you been able to name some players. So this is what I've got from your team. David Raya, no mention of Lauren. Massively underrated player.
Yeah,
he would have got his age.
But no. But G Nev is in.
Nah, Lauren gets in over G Nev for me every day of the week. Tony Adams, Gabriel. Not sure if I'm having that one. Ashley Cole, Patrick Vieira, Declan Rice, Paul Scholes, Dennis Bergkamp, Ronaldo, Henry, and Pires were all the names that you mentioned. Humz, with yours, it's a much easier thing to argue, but I do have to call it. You already conceded pretty much, so no surprise to anyone, despite the fact I think there was a couple of arguments you could have had in there. It's 2-2, and it goes to Humz.
Oh, it's down to the wire, my boy. Okay. Down to the wire.
This is the final round of Stoppage Time. It's Manchester United and Humz 2. It's Matt and Arsenal 2. This is your 1 minute and 30-second round. It's Matt to speak first, and the topic is no current Manchester United player would get in to Arsenal's team. 3, 2, 1, go.
The only one that you can even put in this conversation is Bruno Fernandes, and I'm going to listen to your little monologue.
So the fact that you started, your strongest point is admitting that Bruno Fernandes will get into your team. I think that's pretty crazy.
Look, I've invited you to explain why he gets in over Martin Odegaard, but let me back Martin Odegaard for a second. There's no debate. He had a very underwhelming season last season. Look at the 2 seasons prior. He dragged Arsenal to compete in. He was our captain, our skipper, our leader. 15 goals in the 23-24 season. Unbelievable for our team. Instrumental. It's built around him. I actually, at one point, thought I'd actually like Bruno here. But after watching that Europa League final, I realised I saw him for who he was. And that is no more than an absolute bottle job.
Well, the question was about current Man United players getting to the current teams, and you said in the last 2 seasons that Odegaard has not really been there, so I don't really understand that. And the other thing is that if we look at the last 2 seasons, that's recent history. Right now, what has Bruno Fernandes done? He's captained this Man United team, and if you actually look at goals and assists, right, since he's come, only Salah has more. And Odegaard actually can't lace his boots when it comes to those statistics.
He's got a lot of penalties, let's not deny. A lot of penalties. Bruno Fernandes is a great player, but it would change the whole dynamic of Arsenal's team. I think we'd have a lot less fluidity in there. Bruno Fernandes loves to lump the ball up, rely on bounces or dodgy touches from defenders to send the wingers through. He's a great player, but Odegaard is a lot more fluid and a lot more aesthetically pleasing to watch. I think that we'd rely on him a lot more than we rely on Bruno. And look, let's be real, this is the only one that's even a debate, Bruno Fernandes. And the fact that I think he's a big fish in a small pond. You put him in Arsenal, he's an average fish in an average pond.
I'm going to end the Bruno debate by saying that if you actually take away his goals and assists from this year, statistically, United would have been relegated. So in terms of one player's impact on a whole club, not just a team, there is not really much of a comparison to Bruno Fernandes' impact, and Odegaard simply is not the same level of impact. Also, he did also win a major European competition in the Nations League, so you have to include that into the debate. Now, in terms of other players, why are we saying that this Arsenal team is so incredible? Like, to me, like, what have they actually won to say that, oh, none of the United players will get in? They haven't really achieved anything. So when you look at United, like I said, we'll go back to the trophies thing. The players from this team, Casemiro has won 2 trophies, and that's that's basically double the amount Arteta has won.
You say you take away Bruno's goals. I mean, obviously, if you play with 10 men, you're not going to be as good a team.
Well, I don't understand that point.
You take away Bruno goals, you would have been relegated.
Time.
Yeah, that is true. And then, like I said, the other players, we have players who've won more trophies than your manager in the last 5 years.
Time.
Why Arteta getting strays?
Because what I mean is, in the last 5 years, you're talking about this Arsenal team are so great, we've still won more trophies.
What have these trophies done for you,
players,
What have these trophies done for you?
Football's about trophies, and I know I didn't win that round, but I should have won that round.
They sacked their manager.
I had to define what football is about, and I defined it as being trophies, and I actually got that point in that round. So I go back to that exact point, and there's players in this team who have won more trophies. So how can we actually say that this Arsenal team are so incredible when we've done the thing that Arsenal haven't, the thing that football's all about?
I think it's so easy for you to say, oh, football's all about trophies. Yes, football is the pinnacle.
To be fair, that is kind of the point.
Oh, trophies is the pinnacle, but it's also the journey, all right? Let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you
a question.
Go on.
What's the funnest part about climbing Mount Everest?
When you get to the top.
No,
and you've
climbing it. When you're at the top, you're there for 10 minutes, you go down, it's boring up there. It's the struggle of climbing and climbing and climbing. What has that?
That sounds rubbish, the climb.
But guess what happens when you don't reach the top? That's Arsenal. You're going through the treacherous journey to the top, and you fall off the cliff. Every single time. You fall off the cliff and you have to start again every time.
No. They're getting to that bit, on Everest when there's always the queue of people up to the top. They get to the queue, they've done all the hard yards. Just before they get to the top, they go, no, I'm not queuing up.
Yeah, don't fancy that. No,
we haven't dropped off. It's silly to say we've dropped off. I mean, on paper, we had a better season than we did the season before.
Lads,
what did you think?
I must remind you, right, the topic was no current Manchester United player would get into Arsenal's team. It kind of turned into the Bruno Fernandes, Martin Odegaard debate. I understand why that might happen because, to be fair, Bruno Fernandes by far and away Manchester United's best player. I was hoping, Humz, for a couple more examples from you. You gave me Casemiro.
Yeah.
And, again, great points, great storied career. Hasn't exactly set the world on fire at Manchester United. So current Man United player, based on his current form, probably not getting anywhere near that Arsenal team ahead of Declan Rice. However,
it's the Bruno debate then. That's the key.
It kind of boils down to the Bruno Fernandes debate. He has had a huge impact on Manchester United. And again, awful team without him. They get relegated. Great points from Humz about the impact.
That's a rubbish point. Obviously, you take away him, you've got 10 men.
And you did belittle somewhat the idea that Bruno Fernandes would not make an impact on Arsenal, that wouldn't elevate the team, and that you'd have to change the whole sort of structure of your team around him. I think he gets quite a lot of grief. However, I do have to call it on the quality of the debate within the time when the clocks were on the wall. Nip and tuck, it was absolutely this close once again, but unfortunately, it was the Casemiro statement that just about lost it. So it goes to Arsenal.
Arsenal!
That's terrible, bro.
Arsenal!
That's terrible.
Well played.
Well played. Thank you, Gaffer.
Arsenal finally managed to summit Everest then as Matt Pincus wins 3-2 in stoppage time against Humz from Manchester United. As always, thank you for watching on Stoppage Time. Make sure you're subscribed to SunSport's YouTube channel. Like this video and let us know in the comments whether my scoring was minging, what you thought of the debates and which of these two lads you think should have won. Thanks for watching. Make sure you are here this time next week on Stoppage Time.